Manchester City on the brink of bankruptcy. Sheikh Mansour, previous owner of Manchester City Football Club, stepped down from his position on 12th of August 2018, just prior to the start of the 2018-2019 Premier League campaign. Such shocking news come as a surprise to everyone surrounding the Manchester City Football Club as well as its fans. Manchester City will not fall under a transfer embargo for the current or any upcoming transfer windows, as this ownership change fell within the regulations of the FA policies and procedures. It is expected that with the current financial situation of Manchester City, the club will remain under financial fair play regardless of transfer business due to falling within the fiscal year of 2018. It is also rumored and assumed that current manager Jose Guardiola will step down as manager, leaving Mikel Arteta to potentially step in as a caretaker. Considering the salary situation at the club, most players are in fact expected to move away from Manchester City before the transfer window slams shut due to the club not being able to afford their salaries. Current captain Vincent Kompany said this in a recent press conference. "I am shocked, as most everyone probably is. I have heard rumors, but I did not expect such drastic change to come. I have been at the club for over 10 years now, and I'm perfectly fine staying here even if it means to take a pay cut. Manchester City has been able to provide my family and I a fantastic foundation to build our lives upon, and I'm eternally grateful to this club and its past, current, and future owners. I will be staying at this club until I decide to hang up my boots." Besides, company midfielders David Silva and Fernandinho expressed the same exact interest in staying at the club. Youngsters Phil Foden, Leroy Sané, and Raheem Sterling and others' futures are in fact uncertain at this time. Reasons are also uncertain as to why Sheikh Mansour decided to step down. Rumors have it that it correlates to the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, as the Abu Dhabi native Mansour is heavily involved in the representation of this event. There is a lot of controversy regarding the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, and it is certainly possible that Sheikh Mansour is simply refraining from too much attention from the media, press, and the public. Other reasons are rumored to be entirely personal regarding his family matters. The reported loss in revenue is a drastic 194%, meaning the club has lost twice the amount of money that they had in the overall budget from 2017-2018 season. The club is not filed for bankruptcy at this point, however, the ownership is still vacant. Various investor groups are interested in buying the club, but no final decision has been made yet. Prior to such shocking news, Manchester City were one of the favorites to win the Premier League again. Most analysts and fans, in fact, were expecting the treble from the team, including the Champions League and one of, if not both, the FA and Carabao Cups. The squad looks strong after the incredibly record-breaking season of 2017-2018 in the English top flight, the Premier League. Same can be said for the Champions League, with Manchester City drawing against a relatively easy group of the German side Hoffenheim, French giants Lyon, and the biggest side in Ukraine, Shakhtar Donetsk. Manchester City will fight to compete in all these competitions, but it's difficult to make any predictions at this point with the uncertainty of the future. The transfer rumors for the squad are as follows. Goalkeepers. Ederson is reported to be in talks with Italian AS Roma. Claudio Bravo is expected to terminate his contract and become a free agent for the upcoming season. Daniel Grimshaw's and Arianet Muric futures are uncertain. Defenders. Benjamin Mendy is in advanced talks with Paris Saint-Germain or France. Danilo is expected to transfer to Everton of Merseyside. England international Kyle Walker is in talks with Spurs of Tottenham, his previous club. Aymeric Laporte is in advanced talks with AS Monaco of France. John Stones is rumored to be on the move to Arsenal of North London. Nicolas Otamendi is in talks with the Spanish giants Barcelona, while Elakim Mangala is expected to move back to Valencia of Spain. Philip Sandler and Alexander Zinchenko, their futures are uncertain, with Vincent Kompany saying that he will stay at Manchester City for the upcoming season. Midfielders. World Cup hero with Belgium Kevin De Bruyne is on the move to the back-to-back-to-back Champions League champions Real Madrid. Ilkay Gundogan is expected to sign with Real Madrid's biggest rivals Barcelona, while Fabian Delph is on the move to Europa League bound Burnley. Bernardo Silva is expected to move back to AS Monaco, while Fernandinho, David Silva, Phil Foden, and Brahim Diaz are all expected to stay at Manchester City at this time. Forwards. Gabriel Jesus in his advanced talks with Paris Saint-Germain. Leroy Sané is set to follow Kevin De Bruyne in joining Real Madrid. Newly transferred Riyad Mahrez, formerly of Leicester, is not expected to move back to his previous club and is in fact rumored to be in talks with AS Roma. Raheem Sterling, although rumored heavily with Real Madrid in the previous transfer window, has said to be moving to Arsenal after Unai Emery confirmed the transfer interest. Sergio Kun Aguero is expected to move back to Atletico Madrid, while Luke Bolton's future is uncertain. On loan, Lucas Micha, Thierry Ambrose, Brandon Barker, Tosin Adarabio, Edward Francis, Marlos Moreno, and Matthew Smith are all expected to stay away on loan, while Charlie Oliver, Manu Garcia, Patrick Roberts, Aleix Garcia, and Paulo Fernandez are all expected to be called back from loan for the upcoming seasons. Transfer rumors in: Daniel Arzani from Celtic, Scottish-Australian winger, Viktor Tsigankov from Dynamo Kiev, Ukrainian winger, Felipe Vizeu, Udinese, Brazil striker, Benjamin Pavard, World Cup hero, Stuttgart, France defender, Mario Mandzukic, Juventus, Croatia forward, Ante Rebic, Eintracht Frankfurt, Croatia forward, Keylor Navas, Real Madrid, Costa Rica goalkeeper, Kieran Tierney, Celtic, Scotland fullback. Not great things at Manchester City, right? A lot of players are actually going to leave to different clubs, as you saw the rumors of different players leaving to various clubs, mostly for the reason being because Man City is not able to pay their salaries anymore. The tables have completely turned. Man City of today, as of from 2008 to 2018, will no longer be the same. This is the new look Manchester City, or so to speak, the old age before Sheikh Mansour Manchester City, except with in today's market, so to speak. Anyways, as you saw, 194% down in revenue. Now, what this means, think about this, right? If Manchester City had 100 million pounds in their budget, 100% of that is all the money. So 100% of 100 million is 0. Now, you take out 94 extra percent, meaning that 94 million goes in debt. So right now, Manchester City is 94% in debt from any money that they made from the previous season, which is a huge amount, because obviously Manchester City is one of the richest, if not the richest clubs in the world right now. Well, not right now, not anymore, because Sheikh Mansour is gone. New ownership, completely new ownership. This is, at most, a mid-tier side. So, from this, of course, Manchester City is not worth 100 million. It's worth close to probably billions, or, at least 1 billion, which means they have a long way to go in terms of bringing in revenue and bringing in that TV money from the Premier League back. Now, of course, the Etihad, the main sponsor of the kit and also for the stadium, have actually said to remain as current sponsors, although their revenue, the sponsorship money that Manchester City will get from Etihad, will be reportedly 88% less than what they were bringing in before, which means they're only getting about 12% from what Etihad was. So this basically, on the contrary, you can compare this to Cardiff City, who have Visit Malaysia. Of course, they're newly promoted. They don't have as much money as Manchester City, although Visit Malaysia is a pretty big, drastic sponsor. So same thing with Manchester City. Now, forget Sheikh Mansour. This is the new regime, so to speak. Of course, Man City fans and Man City players did not want this to happen. This happened, seems like overnight. Completely new team. Now let's take a look at those transfers that actually went through, right? So there's a few things that the Gazette or the Daily News reported wrong, and there's some things that the Daily News reported correctly. Now, as you saw earlier, Ederson moves to AS Roma. He is the new goalkeeper, basically replaces Alisson there in Roma. Now, Claudio Bravo has gone to Olympiacos on a free after becoming a free agent. He now becomes their #1 goalkeeper. Danilo will now move to Everton. Kyle Walker decides to go back to Spurs and partner up with some of his best friends of Dele Alli and Harry Kane from the English national team. Aymeric Laporte, the French international, goes to AS Monaco to help them potentially win the Ligue 1. John Stones goes to Arsenal. They pursued him a lot in the previous transfer window, and he decided to join them after Man City was not able to pay his salary. Nicolas Otamendi goes and replaces Javier Mascherano, and Barcelona. Fabian Delph goes to the Europa League bound Burnley. That was reported correctly. Benjamin Mendy, one of the best fullbacks in the world right now, besides his injuries, goes to PSG on an undisclosed fee. Ilkay Gundogan, instead of going to Barcelona, actually moves to Real Madrid for £83 million. Kevin De Bruyne, the only transfer of all these players from Manchester City to go over £100 million. In fact, £136 million has been reported a fee for Kevin De Bruyne to move to Real Madrid. As you saw, Raheem Sterling goes to Arsenal for an undisclosed fee. Bernardo Silva decides to go back to Monaco to help them win Ligue 1. Gabriel Jesus partners up with Neymar at PSG. Sergio Aguero goes to Atletico Madrid, back to his, so to speak, home club. And Leroy Sané also goes to Real Madrid for £91 million. Now let's take a look. Let's take a look at who Manchester City brought with that money. So, of course, as we know, as we have heard, 94% in debt from previous season, 194% loss in revenue, which means they had to take out some loans just to pay some of these transfer fees and agent fees and financial fair play stuff like that, all the bureaucratic stuff. I am not certainly aware of how much money exactly Manchester City had to spend, but I know it was a lot, and they were able to actually bring in some players to help them. Now, bear in mind, this is now going to be mid-table side at most. I think Manchester City will actually be sort of a lower mid-table side. You can compare them to teams like Bournemouth. No offense to Bournemouth, but you can compare them to teams like Bournemouth, a very small side, and imagine how big Manchester City is currently. Now, as I said, let's go ahead and take a look at the Manchester City ins. These are the players that were brought in so far. Now, I don't know exactly whether Manchester City had to take out some loans to bring these players in or not. However, we'll have to wait and see. All right, so Keylor Navas is the goalkeeper. Obviously, we knew that Thibaut Courtois goes to Real Madrid, and Keylor Navas decides to go back to Manchester City to help them. Only 30 years old, fantastic keeper, actually took a little bit of a pay cut to come to Man City. Benjamin Pavard, one of the heroes of the World Cup of 2018 in Russia, goes to Man City from Stuttgart. Vincent Kompany, as you see, has remained at the club. An absolute giant of a man, being able to take a pay cut and stay at the club. Kieran Tierney, one of the most hyped prospects in the world right now, from Celtic, comes to Manchester City. Reportedly, it's on loan. However, they are able to buy once they have some money back. Fernandinho decides to stay. 32-year-old. Him and Vincent Kompany decided to stay. Juan Mata was brought by Mikel Arteta because he wasn't getting any playing time in Manchester United. So he's moved side to Manchester City, just across the city, pretty much, from United to City. Daniel Arzani comes back from Celtic. Might go out on loan, depends. Danny Drinkwater is brought back from Chelsea, so now hopefully he will be a starting midfielder at a pretty decent club. Phil Foden, they were able to keep Phil Foden. So far, the transfer window, of course, has not shut yet, but hopefully he stays. Same with David Silva, they were able to keep him. He was one of the players that decided to say, hey, I'm staying here. I like Mikel Arteta. He's my Spanish sort of comrade, so let's go ahead and stay. Alexander Prijovic, one of the players that featured at the World Cup of 2018, also decides to stay. Ante Rebic, one of the heroes of the World Cup of 2018, comes from Eintracht Frankfurt. And Mario Mandzukic, with the purchase of Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, comes from Juventus and will be the starting striker for Manchester City. Now, other players that have been rumored to come in are, in fact, Edin Dzeko of Roma, and as well as Jason Denayer to be brought back from Galatasaray, as well as others. Now, I don't know exactly whether those players will be coming in or whether these are just rumors. All I know is that Man City are almost bankrupt. In fact, they haven't declared for bankruptcy, as I said, but they are heavily in debt, and this will be a very, very tough season. They will remain in the Champions League. There is a relatively easy group, but now with the side that Manchester City have, without all these superstars, with only a few older players that are getting on with age and probably won't last too much longer in their career, will have to fight for Manchester City in order to get out of the group. Now, the objectives, of course, are going to be probably just get out of the group, Champions League group, and finish somewhere mid-table. Yeah. So, overnight thing that just happened. Sheikh Mansour is gone. What do you guys think? Are you guys excited for this? I am excited for this. This is a fantastic, fantastic idea in my personal opinion. I will see you guys when FIFA 19 comes out. Leave a like, Subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you very soon. Love to you, mothers. Goodbye.